Hey everyone, William Strife here, and after the release of Skyrim Special Edition and my subsequent replaying of the game, it got me thinking about item durability. Now, armor and weapon condition was something Bethesda used to have in its games up through Fallout 3, keeping in mind that Obsidian made New Vegas, not Bethesda, and they decided to drop it starting with Skyrim. Now, this was a move I never fully agreed with but understood, the raw idea being that managing durability is tedious, and it wasn't implemented in the best ways in Morrowind, Oblivion, and Fallout 3. This is where my personal conflict comes in. I agreed that durability didn't quite work as it existed in earlier games, but I also felt that it was worth keeping and tweaking, but not bad enough to remove. To understand where I'm coming from though, we need to take a step back and look at how durability was done in games like Morrowind and Oblivion. The first place to start when talking about durability in a Bethesda game is Morrowind, released way back in 2002. In this game, you had a skill called Armorer, and it governed your ability to repair any armor or weapons that took damage during combat. To facilitate the repair process, there were smithing hammers in the game, and there were also different quality levels of hammers as well. How much durability you restored was based not only on your skill level as an armorer, but also on the quality of hammer you used. What's more, the repair hammers had limited uses, and would not only break after fixing your gear a number of times, but those hammers were also more likely to break when your armorer level was low. Now, fast forward to 2006 with Oblivion, where the armorer skill was retained but simplified. There was only one type of repair hammer, and how much you repaired was based only on your skill. Meanwhile, the speed at which the hammers broke was also more heavily reliant on your skill, with hammers never breaking at level 100. Also, something that remained true in both of these games was how you could only repair magic equipment after leveling up enough. Of all the things that remained the same for the armorer skill between Morrowind and Oblivion though, was also the most glaring problem with the durability system. The fact that weapons, no matter how valuable to you, could outright break in the heat of combat. This was also nonsensically paired with the fact that you needed to lug tons of hammers into the field, as you didn't have to repair at a forge. Which was good, but it meant that item durability degraded amazingly fast, and was further paired with the fact that you couldn't use repair hammers while in combat. So in other words, your weapons and armor could outright break in combat, but you couldn't repair anything in the middle of combat, but you still needed to lug extra weight into the field to try and avoid having your gear break. Perfect, this system was not. That being said, I think it warranted some merit, and just needed an overhaul, but not to be totally dumped. Now we reach Skyrim, released in 2011, where they totally removed durability and replaced the armorer skill with smithing, effectively replacing a support skill with a trade skill. Now, as fun as smithing is in Skyrim, it's not perfect either. Smithing is pretty much focused on spamming the creation of cheap items to gain skill levels. This gets tedious quickly, just like the armorer skill did, but with less penalty for choosing not to engage with it, as you don't need smithing like you did armorer. That being said, I feel that smithing was ultimately a missed opportunity to shore up the flaws in the armorer skill, and it could have been done in one of two major ways. First, Bethesda could have left durability in the game, but flatly removed the ability of weapons to totally break. This would have balanced out with returning to town and using the forge to get your gear back up to snuff. It would have allowed for enough gray area, especially if equipment didn't lose its edge anywhere near as fast as in prior Elder Scrolls games. The second way durability could have been fixed would be to just implement it as a bonus system. What I mean by that is, all of your equipment remains unbreakable and never degrades, but any improvements you apply do have durability to keep track of. This would give you more incentive to regularly sharpen your blade or reinforce your armor, and it makes more sense than the way it currently works in Skyrim, where a sword will have a legendary edge forever after being put to the grindstone just once. There's also a third way that Bethesda could have balanced item durability and made it more palatable, by using both the methods I just expressed. That's not all either. It even could have been possible to create one-time use sharpening stones to take into the field for temporary boosts to weapon damage, a feature seen in certain MMOs and definitely not out of bounds for an Elder Scrolls game. Now, one of the big reasons I make this argument is because Alchemy had a similar overhaul. In previous games, you had to collect parts for a chemistry set, and could brew concoctions anywhere in the world because you didn't have to set up a lab. This didn't make a lot of sense, and the skill was partially revamped to focus on going back to town to make the potions you needed at mixing stations. And while alchemy got the more nuanced treatment, armorer and durability were just chucked out the window, then replaced with a craft skill that relies on spamming a button just as much to level up. I'm not saying that I have a solution, or that this is even a problem to be fixed. I'm mostly bringing it up because I'm curious to hear outside input on the topic. I understand that some people have massive hate for item durability in games, while other people are all in on it for the micromanagement, and still others have never even thought about this. Hop on down to the comments and let me know what you think. Is item and equipment durability something worth having in games like The Elder Scrolls? Can it be done right? What's the line to be walked between tedium and engaging game mechanic? I look forward to your responses, but until next time, I'm William Strife, and this has been a video over durability in The Elder Scrolls. I'll see you later.